Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the United Falling Podcast. This is the podcast where we go over anything we want to. And today, I want to go over dreams. This is Steven.
This is Andrew.
Oh my God, one at a time. So, anyways, guys, I wanted to talk about dreams today. And I had a couple of questions in regards to dreams. But something funny happened today, just like an hour ago. And my son, my wife was putting my son to sleep. And then he fell asleep. And then randomly, he just started laughing, like with his eyes closed. It was the cutest thing ever.
Yeah,
And
that's gas.
what?
That's gas.
But he didn't burp or fart.
Yeah, you may not have smelt it, but he dealt it.
Oh, so he farted, then he laughed.
Yeah.
Well,
He's like, I'm gonna get these suckers.
Dude, he does that a lot. And normally it kicks me in the face like really bad. But so that's kind of what I want. That's kind of what brought this topic into my head. Just like number one, do babies dream? And number two, like what about us? Like and we'll get into that. But Andrew, you have a kid, right? You have a child.
Yes,
Do you believe your child dreams? And if so, what?
yes. My child dreams. I believe my child dreams about eating
Eating?
because, like, I will see like the lips just like making that sucking motion.
Okay. And then here's a sub question. Jason, you
Yeah.
have gender neutral pussycats.
Yes, correct.
Do they dream?
I believe so.
What do they dream about?
Probably chasing things and eating and doing cat stuff.
Okay, so the reason why I was asking Andrew about his gender neutral child is basically I actually did some research, and basically babies are so small that they have no experiences to dream about. So technically, they are going through the REM cycle, but it's pretty much because their brains are opening up and they're establishing all these different brain paths or whatever based on one article that I read. But then I was thinking like, yeah, that makes sense, but at the same time, how would the like today, how would my baby just all of a sudden like start laughing like out of joy? It was just like pure joy. And then what you said kind of makes sense.
What your child did was remember your face and then just start laughing.
Well,
It's like,
another
"He's
thing
a
I was
funny
thinking
looking dude."
another thing I was thinking is maybe he just sees like a bunch of nipples and he's like floating towards them trying to suck on the milk. And then because sometimes my kid will start crying in the middle of his dream, right? So I'm like, oh, maybe the nipple has no milk coming out. So yeah, those are some of the thoughts when I was thinking about this. And then so let's dive a little deeper in regards to like our own. So what do you guys dream about?
Everything.
Not everyone all at once.
Expand, please.
I usually have nightmares.
Really?
Those are the ones that you remember. I'm pretty sure, like, outside of those nightmares, you're also dreaming about everything as well.
I don't know.
No,
When I was younger, I used to dream about having another life.
what do you mean?
Like I would like when I fall asleep and I'm dreaming, like I just enter like basically like an alternate self.
Oh, okay.
Like how Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness, they say like whenever you dream, it's like you're seeing like the eyes of your doppelganger in another parallel universe.
Oh, yeah.
That's basically like how I used to dream. Like I would have like memories and I would know people in my dream world that I didn't know in real life.
Yeah.
And like I would remember things like, oh crap, like like this is happening or this is this person and this is what I did to this person. Like it was really weird.
Did you ever have continuity between multiple dream sessions?
Yeah, like I would go back to a dream world
Like,
and I would
the
I would
same
remember.
world. Like it
Yeah,
was.
same world, same person that I was before, and like time had
Really?
passed. Yeah.
Hmm, that's pretty
But
rare.
this was younger, right? Does that still happen now?
Well, I mean, this was like in college.
Oh, that's not that young.
Yeah. No, I continuity does happen, especially with some of my nightmares. You know, like
Oh,
I
okay.
told you about that dream about um, finding like this extra space in my house.
Oh,
There's like
yeah,
that creepy Victorian doll that's like life size in the
yeah.
attic. So I had a follow up dream to that maybe 2 weeks after that,
Uh huh.
where I had gathered a bunch of people to like try to exterminate this like doll that's possessing my house, and like we went up into the attic to search for it and couldn't find it,
Uh
and
huh.
then all of a sudden it started like picking people off one by one,
Oh
and
my.
like I was like down to like me and one other person, and I was like I'm out, and I just woke myself up.
Okay, okay. Jason, what about you?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I used to do a lot of lucid dreaming.
Okay,
So
explain.
usually it starts like a nightmare, which for me usually involves sharks, being like alone in the ocean, or being chased by something, and then like that would trigger stress, and then I would suddenly realize like, hey, this doesn't make sense. I'm in a dream. So then if I
Yeah.
try really hard, I can do anything. So I'll like to get away from whatever's chasing me. I would just try really hard, and all of a sudden I can fly, or all of a sudden I can go through walls, or like sink into the ground, or do a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff. Um,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, but then I'd wake up, I'd be like kind of tired because I'm like, oh, I'm like trying hard in my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, then like I would have others where also if I'm being chased, all of a sudden I like start running like a dog and I'm much faster. You know, you
Oh,
know, you know how when you run normally in a dream, it's super slow.
yeah.
It's like you're kind of like running in low gravity, but you can't really get traction.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
I'm like, okay, if I run on all fours like a dog, I can go much faster. And then it happens.
that actually brings up another point. Have you ever had a fight in your dream, like a physical fight, and you're trying to punch, but like you're punching like super slow?
Yeah, yeah.
What is that? What is that about?
I feel like that's your normal every day, but
I think it's your body, like, because if your body if you go fast, then your body might react and you might jerk and fall out of whatever
Oh,
you were sleeping on.
I see. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Like for me, one of my earliest memories of like a dream is I used to like create like these crazy like scenarios. Maybe it was because I watched some sci-fi movies or something, but it's like I would create like a world where I'd be on this train, like this fast moving train or whatever. But I don't remember what I was doing. I just remember like the layout of everything. So like it was so vivid at that moment. And then I used to have like these weird dreams about like, well, I told you about the demonic dream that I had which scared the crap out of me.
Oh, when you wake up at 3 a.m. every night.
No, no. That was definitely in college, but no, it was more of a like a religious, like demonic hell kind of hellscape, and that one like really opened my eyes. But I mean, like, do you guys think that dreams, do they mean anything nowadays, especially now that you're older?
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
what
dreams always mean something.
what do you think that is? Like, dude, I freaking still dream about like going to class. You know?
yeah. Yep. I think like for me, a lot of my nightmares are I'll be in some sort of school environment, and then it'll always involve like me trying to remember like which class I had,
Hmm.
because I don't have my schedule, and then all of a sudden I realize like, holy shit, I haven't gone to one like this class in since like the beginning of the semester, so that means I'll probably fail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either
that's
that,
stalker.
or I have like a final exam, but I didn't really study for it, so I'm like sitting there trying to bullshit.
I recently had a dream where it was just like my wife bought a speedboat for $4,000, and I was just so upset at her
Why?
because like the
Big
next
deal.
moment we ended up like going on a paddle boat, and I was like, "You just bought a speedboat. Like, why are we paddling?" So I have no idea what that was about. It's just
Yeah.
like there are random dreams, and I'm like, I remember there used to be like people who said dreams are kind of like what you either want in life or what you don't want to happen to you or something like that. Do you
Mhm.
guys believe that?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, dreams are like more of a manifestation of like what you're dealing with in your subconscious.
It's like a reflection of your current state. Like, for example, if I have something for work and I'm like nervous about it, or it's like a problem I'm trying to solve, then sometimes I'll have dreams where like, oh, like I solved the problem. And then sometimes it helps in real life when I wake up, but other times like it doesn't.
Oh, that happened to
Um,
me in college all the time. Like I would go to bed like trying to figure out like a calculus problem, and I'd wake up knowing the answer.
yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think one like yeah, that does happen. There's like a theory that dreams can help you problem solve.
Yeah, I definitely remember when I was in college and right before an exam, if I knew like my material, I would wake up like super super confident. But if I didn't, I would wake up like sweating and I'd just be like I'm screwed. But yeah, okay, so let's go back in time a little bit. Do you guys remember like one of your earliest dreams? Like what would that be? Like one of your earliest dreams?
I don't really remember like when I was young, but maybe when I was in middle school or junior high, I had a dream where it was like comic panels and it was following like this gray alien thing, and it farted, and then it
Okay.
had like this little like cloud effect.
Uh-huh.
And then yeah, that was basically it.
Okay. All right. What about
Oh,
you, Andrew?
It was like a nightmare,
Wow,
and I
you
think
really
I
yeah.
was in third grade,
Okay. What
and
happened?
was it third grade? When did I move over there? Yeah, I think it was like third grade. There was just like I just remember like this creepy, shadowy figure
Mhm.
that kind of reminded me of like the witch from like Looney Tunes.
What?
You know, like when
Okay.
Bugs Bunny does like he has like some episode with like this witch. She's like
Okay.
huge and has like giant nose and stuff. Anyways, so like the shadow, it was like the shadow of that, but it had like a straw in its mouth and it had like little peas, and they would like shoot peas at you. And like I just remember that like coming after me and me waking up and be like, nope.
So do you guys remember like what might have instigated that? Like for Andrew, did you recently watch that as a TV show? Is that why it popped in your head?
No, I don't remember at all
Oh,
why.
okay.
I mean, I was like in third grade, man.
What about you, Jason?
I don't know, but I do also remember when I was in fourth or fifth grade, I got into UFOs. I started like reading, checking out
Yeah.
books on UFOs and freaking myself out from the library.
Yeah.
And then I think it was my first remembered incident of sleep paralysis,
Oh, okay.
where I was like kind of coming out of sleep, but not really.
Mhm.
So I was like kind of aware of my body, but my mind was still dreaming. So I was dreaming like there's this spaceship where it was like a purple staircase looking thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh shit, it's alien spaceship. Are they gonna abduct me? And all of a sudden, like that. I don't know about you guys, but when I get sleep paralysis, there's like this tingling feeling where you can't really move, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like I felt that, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't move. So I was like trying really hard to move, and then after like a few seconds of that, I like wake up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
Andrew, did you ever have sleep paralysis?
Yeah, a lot.
Is it all tied to nightmares then?
Yeah. Usually when you have sleep paralysis, it's like, because like mentally, like if you're paralyzed, like you're gonna start freaking out,
Yeah.
especially when it's like dark and you don't know what's going on in your room.
So do you think like your love of horror would tie into that, or is it like the opposite? Is it your love of horror like makes you have nightmares, or the nightmares make you want to watch horror movies? Like what do you
I don't think there's a correlation for me. Like for me,
Mhm.
horror is just like I find it a really creative genre, and I
Why?
like what do you mean by why?
Like why do you think it's creative?
Because like the stories they get to tell, like there are no boundaries when it
Mm.
comes to horror, and like
Yeah.
like conventionally, like you have to like draw a line if you're making like, a drama or a comedy, things like that, like standard things. But like with horror, like there really is no line. Like you can create whatever lines and boundaries you want, and go in whatever direction you want.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
as long as you're keeping to it being scary or at least like creepy.
Yeah.
And so
So
that's I think that's the reason why I like horror is that's why I also enjoy more horror that like has good mythology and good story and other things like that,
mhm.
as opposed to like just killing people. Like what's that? Jason,
So
what's that
no
one with the clown?
slashers as much.
What's the one with the clown?
It?
Uh,
The
it
the clown with like the white face and like the black nose and makeup.
Terrifier.
Yeah, Terrifier.
You don't
Like
Oh.
like
I
that?
hated that one because like it never explained who he was. There's no real backstory. It was just kind of senseless killing. And I heard Terrifier 2 is like even worse.
It's all
Like
about your imagination. Like you fill in the details.
yeah, but like what details are there? It's just like this killer clown out there that
You need to watch it again and look at the secret.
So wait, Jason, are you a fan of that film?
I mean, it's different for me. Like I'm like Angel. Like I enjoy like pretty much all of it.
Yeah,
I would say like slashers are a little less compelling, but
right.
Terrifier movies like Terrifier, where it's like first of all, it's like the makeup and the effects are pretty good. So like I
Mhm.
yeah,
appreciate
like
like
the
that.
character looks awesome. Like
Yeah.
he looks so
Right.
creepy. And I think that's why I wish like there was a little bit more to the plot with him because he's just
And
basically
again,
a cook.
yeah, like in those kinds of movies, you don't really watch it for the plot.
That
So
is true.
basically, is it just a clown that has returned and is trying to kill people?
No
I don't know about
returning,
the
he's just
return part.
out there killing people. It's just some psycho.
Oh, okay. So he's not like it's not like a spirit. It's like an actual person.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, that's weird. All right. Did you guys ever have like nightmares about clowns?
After I saw that scene in the original
Which one? The shower?
the storm drain,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
that traumatized me because I saw it when I was pretty young.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really.
Yeah, I never really got scared of clowns. I think because my first experience with clowns was like Bozo the Clown,
Oh,
the
right,
TV
right, right.
show. And I always just wanted to be on the show so I could win stuff and like throw the ping pong ball into the buckets, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So clowns never really had that big of an impact on you guys, other
Yeah.
than it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
What about you?
Like
Are you
for
afraid of
me though,
clowns?
for my earliest memory of a dream that I can think of right now is probably after I saw Titanic. Because you know how like Jack is just like Leonardo DiCaprio is just on that piece of wood, and then she has to push him off, and he just sinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You guys remember, right?
wasn't really.
Titanic.
Yeah, I remember. It wasn't really
Yeah.
a nightmare thing for me though.
So basically, like my memory of the dream is just like me sinking, and then like me just sinking all the way to the ground.
So
And
you were Jack.
yeah, I was Jack. I had beautiful locks of black hair. But yeah, that was my first memory of that. But then I think there's something else though, and nightmares are a big part of like why I'm so afraid all the time. But when I was a kid, when I was really young, I remember I had sleep paralysis like very young, And what happened was I was actually sleeping in my parents' room, like, and I remember waking up. It's probably when I was 5 or 4, and then I remember waking up, and then the door opens, and I was frozen. Right, I had the sleep paralysis thing. The door opens, and I saw this person walk in, and then it had horns, and there's like a red light like coming out. Right, so I was like, but at that time I wasn't a Christian. I didn't know about Jesus or anything. And I just remember him coming in, right? And then he leaves. And then I fell back asleep. And then the next morning, I I asked my sister, she came in the room and she's like, "Yeah, I was going to come in and like sleep next to you guys, but then I decided to go back to the room." So I was like, "Wait a second." So, yeah, that was probably my earliest memory of like sleep paralysis, of having a like real nightmare. But
Huh.
yeah. So, let's go from like this whole nightmare thing to a completely different scenario. In my question, I asked you guys, do y'all remember your horniest dream?
Probably during puberty.
Because the only reason why I'm telling you guys this is I remember I had a dream. I think I was in junior high or something, where where I had sex with the xenomorph from Aliens.
Wow, that's pretty fucked
That's
up.
that's messed up, man. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
what is wrong
And
with you?
and the other
like
thing is though, I hadn't seen the movie, but what I had seen is like they had this comic book line where Superman was fighting the alien. So I think that had something to do with it. But yeah, that was the weirdest like horny dream I ever had.
Do you think it was your mind's way of conquering your fear of the alien?
It might have been. Okay, what
no
about you
comment.
guys?
No comment.
I mean, I don't think I have anything that tops that one. That you said.
Same here.
So let's jump to the next scenario. Do you guys have like a favorite movie about dreams? Not including Inception because that's my favorite.
Wow, so we can't have all the same favorite dream movie?
No, I don't. No, that would be unfair.
That would be totally fair because, like, I told you about Inception first.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
What
because
do
we
you
had
mean?
this discussion the other day.
I mean, didn't we all know about Inception at pretty much the same time?
Yeah. So what about like okay, what else is there? Like do y'all have any
I
other
remember.
favorite
I remember the cell was pretty interesting. I don't remember much of it though.
but is that
Science
was
is
that a
so-
dream?
Well, the guy was unconscious, right? So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
The cell they're trying to get into the serial killer to find something, right?
The serial killer is unconscious, right? Or like,
Yeah, yeah, he is. Actually, they're going in. Yeah, I think they're going into his dreams, or at least his mind, to like un like discover something, like some kind of secret.
yeah.
Wasn't what's the identity a dream?
I think identity was a schizophrenic thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like the cell. I actually watched this pretty recently. It's unclear if it's a dream. I think they do show, and spoiler alert, they show the patient like kind of his eyes are open, so he's not like unconscious, but he's like not all there, while like the motel stuff's happening. So I don't know if it's yeah, I don't know if that counts, but that's an interesting one.
Oh,
And then like Wizard of Oz, that was all a dream, right?
is that a
What?
dream?
Dude, spoilers.
Okay, if you haven't seen the Wizard of Oz by now, you
Dude, yeah, that's like a 40, like more than 60-year-old movie.
Was it all a dream?
you tell me.
Man, that's a trippy dream.
She wakes up and she's like, "I had a dream, and you were there, and you were there." Same
I
thing with
guess
like Total
Alice in
Recall.
Wonderland is a dream too, right?
Is it?
I think the original cartoon, I think that's what happens when you do acid.
Yeah, that
So
sounds like
But yeah, like what else? Okay, you guys can talk about Inception if you want.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but apparently Inception was heavily inspired by a anime called Paprika.
Oh, dude, I saw Paprika. It's the weirdest anime I've ever seen. Like, I still don't understand it
Why don't you understand it?
because I think Paprika influenced Matrix as well.
Oh, I mean, is Matrix kind of like a dream then?
I guess it is because you have to be awakened to the real world, right?
Uh,
So when
yeah,
you're in the Matrix, you're in a dream.
Yeah, that's a really like the original Matrix is still a freaking classic. That's a
but
good one.
it's like a purposeful dream. It's like a simulation. So does that still count?
Yeah, because you're unconscious, right?
Yeah, but the dream is like directed, and the whole thing about what makes a dream is like it just lets your mind kind of be unchained.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So like
Huh.
when you're dreaming and you put like guardrails on there, like at what point does it stop being a dream? Like does that even matter?
But okay, I think if you're released from the Matrix and then you go back into the Matrix, I think that's when you're actually dreaming then, right?
That's like a lucid dream then, right?
Yeah, because your mind is now fully awakened, so you have no nothing's holding you down. You have no boundaries, right?
Well, I mean, you have your willpower, right? That's why some are more powerful than others.
Yeah, that's true. Anything else like if we talk about horror, I think there's like the Freddy series, like
Yeah,
Freddy
yeah,
Krueger.
yeah. I like
What
those.
about Spirited Away?
Is that a dream?
That's what they
Yeah.
make it sound like at the end.
Was it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh. I got a question. Is Pan's Labyrinth a dream then? Because it's reality and folklore, right?
It's not really a dream because she's like dead.
Wait, she's dead the whole movie?
Oh, what about the Sixth Sense?
No, that's not a dream. He could see ghosts.
No, ghosts are just a dream where the dreamer is gone.
What? What? Um okay, I don't know. What other dream movies are there?
um,
Dude, they could do so much with dreams, like in horror too.
They've already explored that.
Have y'all heard of like what is that? The Dream Master or something?
Wishmaster.
Oh, is it Wishmaster?
Yeah, there's Wishmat. That's a Wes Craven thing.
Oh, and then I think one of you guys mentioned to me that Robin Williams movie. What was that one called?
What dreams may come.
Yeah, what is that about? I've never seen that one.
He like commits suicide and he's like trying to find his wife or something while he's like going through the afterlife.
Well, I mean, is there any like Andrew? I'm really worried about you. The fact that all you remember are nightmares.
I mean, what else are you supposed to remember?
Dude, okay, so I recently had a dream, and this was like 3 days ago, where one of my friends recently bought a townhouse that's like 6 stories. And then on the top 2 stories, it's like comic books and movies. And my friend loved me so much, he said, you can have all the comic books and movies.
Wow.
Yeah. That is a happy dream. Like, have you guys like any dreams like that recently or
I don't know. Like a lot of the dreams I remember where are like not as good as when I wake up. If that makes sense.
really?
Like the feeling you have.
Yeah.
I guess when I was younger, I had a lot of dreams where it's like, oh, that was nice. But now as I
Yeah.
got older, when I wake up, I'm like, oh, thank goodness that's not my life.
Why do you think that is though? Do you think it has something to do with us being more jaded?
I don't know. I mean, it could be like when you're younger, there's a lot of uncertainty.
hmm
You have a lot of like aspirations. Then when you're older, uh, you know, uh, I guess when you're older and your situation is decent, then there's a lot of stuff you're like, oh, thank goodness I avoided this, I avoided that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you all a dream that I had recently, and you tell me why I had it. Like, just like come up with something. Okay, just
Okay.
try to be a dream reader.
Uh,
You guys ready?
yeah.
Sure.
So recently, I think this was about 3 months ago. I had a dream where I came into a lot of money, and I was able to buy this house. Now this house is crazy big, and it turned out when you walk in, it wasn't just a house. It was like an embassy suites, pretty much. Like I could have anyone come into this house and live with me, and it was just like a huge castle, right?
Mhm.
And I just remember like people would come in, but they wouldn't want to stay, but they would shop because there are shops in there. And then I had a couple people decide to live with me, like in their own rooms. So from there, what do you think that was about?
I think
Well, I
it's
mean,
about the fact that you want a new house,
Well,
which is
okay.
something we were discussing earlier, but also the fact that you care about a lot of different people and you want to keep them close.
Because well, like it didn't get to the point where everyone was trying to kill each other, thank goodness. It was this is more of a happy dream.
Yeah, that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
it's you aspire to share in your success of obtaining a house with your network of family and friends.
So basically, you want Jason and I to move in with you, but
um
probably not Thomas.
what about you guys? Like recently, do y'all have any dreams that y'all want to talk about in general?
uh
And we can break it apart.
I had
I
a
mean,
dream where I was like in like South America or something, like in the middle of like nowhere, and there was like this tribe of people that I was like supposed to like go meet,
Uh-huh.
and then like I found out that they were actually planning to like sacrifice me. So like I decided to like run away as fast
Uh-huh.
as I could, and like I couldn't get away for a while, and then I ended up in this town, which was like laid out kind of like this area near my house, right?
Okay.
And so I went into like this store, which in my head was like a Korean store, like a Korean grocery store, but it
Okay.
wasn't. It was laid out like this old Korean grocery store in Dallas that I used to know about,
Yeah.
but it was like a South American store instead, right? So, but then I found like a room in the back where it led me back to like my house,
Okay.
like not the house I live in now, but like in the dream it was my house, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like a knock on the door, and there's this woman there, and she's like, "I've come to take you back, and if you don't come back with me, we'll kill the rest. We'll kill your family." So I'm like, "Oh crap!" So then I'm like, "Just give me a second to gather a few things." So I go into like the bedroom, and like for some reason I remember that I can do magic. So like I'm trying to figure out this teleportation spell that like used to be really easy to me, but I couldn't
Yeah.
remember like how to do the teleportation spell anymore. So then like I was like, oh, there's like this other spell that kind of halfway works. That's like kind of like a teleportation spell, but not.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like stuck trying to do that one instead because like, oh, I have the knowledge to do this one. But then I woke up before I could complete the spell.
Wow. Jason, you want to take a stab at that?
sounds like a little bit of a lucid dreaming there with your
What?
spell.
Wait, what is lucid dreaming, by the way?
It's like you're in a dream, but you are still dreaming. So then,
Oh.
usually that leads to you having a little bit more agency within the dream. Like you can fly. You can do this. You can do that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So wow, dude, that's a really complicated dream. So I'm wondering why South America
So
out of all.
you're either craving Colombian food or you want to travel.
Yeah, have you ever wanted to go to South America?
Not really.
Why not?
Okay. Do you have a coworker, a new coworker that is from South America?
No.
Okay, so yeah, I have no idea South America. Um, but people want to sacrifice you. Do you feel like there's people that you know that you don't trust?
Yeah, maybe one that I'm looking at right now.
Okay. Yeah, you do have nightmares.
Yeah,
Was that one pretty scary? Like,
that
did it?
wasn't scary.
It wasn't scary.
No, I mean that's like a normal dream for me.
Oh, okay. Wow. You still have like these really epic storylines in your dreams then.
Oh yeah,
What about you, Jason? Do you still have like pretty vivid like
Yeah, I still do sometimes.
okay, so what's a recent one that like the most vivid that you remember?
I don't remember much. I did have some vivid ones though. I
Cuz like
remember.
yeah.
I remember like one of my school-related nightmares I had pretty recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I'm in school, I'm like busy, and I like it feels like I haven't gone to school in a long time. I'm trying to remember like where to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like that feeling of uncertainty where you're like, I think it's this way,
Mhm.
and you like end up there, and then all of a sudden you realize like, oh shoot, like um actually went from this class to this class, but in between there was this class that I totally forgot about, and now I probably am failing because I've never been to that class, and this is my last semester, and because I
Yeah.
failed that class I can't graduate. So yeah,
I have that dream a lot
very
too.
it's a very common theme, and
man, you dream about
I think
school life.
it's from one semester during college where I stupidly maxed out all of my absences pretty early. So I think that's where it's from.
Yeah, and just so y'all know, like at the university we went to, there was like a maximum number of absences you could take, and if you
Yeah.
went over that, you would fail the class.
Yeah. And I think it was 8. I think you could only skip 8 classes.
I feel like it was like 5.
Was it? Oh.
It was not a high number.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, but I heard like when you dream about school and stuff that typically has to do with work stress for some reason.
Hmm.
And I guess you might have just started a new position, so maybe that's on your mind.
I don't think it's correlated because I've had these pretty regularly. So whether it's at a job I've just started or I've been at for a while, it
Uh-huh.
doesn't
Maybe
seem
it's your marital job,
I
your husband dream.
don't know. It's pretty specific. I think it's just lingering PTSD from,
Yeah.
That could be it too.
from school.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, okay. Well, anyways, that will do it for the dream episode. Thank you guys for joining. Tune in next time where Jason will be leading.
And talking
Yeah.
about why Thomas sucks. His words, not mine.
Yeah, so we'll talk to y'all then. All right, bye.
Later.
Bye.